a lot of things are going to change because I'm actively making an attempt to change things in my life. And just, as a human being, bro, like, change is kind of scary, That's just how it is. But I realize that, like, the things that I'm doing are for the better, even if in the moment it's very overwhelming and it could be a lot to handle. I know that if I just trust what I believe is right and just do what I know is right, that things will work themselves out. And back to what I was just talking about on Twitter, bro. I feel all kinds of guilt. I feel all kinds of guilt because I've said a lot of crazy shit in my music that I probably, shouldn't have. But it's just that's how I was feeling in the moment. Like, I've referenced a lot of things and a lot of problems that are very personal to me. And it's really easy for somebody to turn that around on me and be like, oh, but, you're doing this and you're making it cool for this. And, like, I admit, that, like, I consider myself, well, at least a lot of my older music, to be somewhat part of the problem because it's normalizing the idea that being depressed and being sad is, like, okay. But here's the thing, though, is that, like, it's okay, but it's not good to surround yourself in, like, a cocoon of negativity, if that makes sense. Because it's just, like, I feel like a lot of people, it's like they have, like, sad playlists and all this bullshit, and I'm just like, dude, like, I get it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I understand that people want music that they relate to in that moment to help them feel better, and it's like therapy for some people. And you know what I'm saying? But here's the thing for me personally, is that, like, bro, like I said, you know what I'm saying? I'm not having the best day, but I'm not going to take that as a reason to, like, go on Twitter and say that I hate my life and that I want to fucking kill myself, which is, like, what so many people are doing. You know what I'm saying? Because so many people are doing that, and it's just a cycle of this shit that just keeps going and going, and then it's just like we wonder why there's so many kids out there that are depressed. It's because, bro, listen, at the end of the day, nobody wants to admit this, and I'll be the first one to admit it. I'll give you my personal story. Teenagers and young kids are impressionable. It doesn't matter what you feed them, they're impressionable, and they're going to try to mold themselves to that because that's just, their brains are malleable. Bro, when I was like 15, the reason I started smoking backwoods is because of Such High Water Boys. And I'm not saying that's their fault. Like, they're grown-ass adults. They can do whatever they want. I'm not putting the blame on them in any way. I'm just letting you know that that's literal facts. Like, that's me being honest with you. That, like, they influenced me, whether they intended to or not, to smoke fucking backwoods. You know what I'm saying? And they also influenced me to drink water, which is a positive thing. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? There's different ways you can look at that where it's just like, how I'm looking at it as far as this music is concerned is it's making it okay for people to be like, all right, like, listen, negative emotions are a part of life, my guy. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean you have a problem. And everybody has a different story, and there's a lot of variables that go into that shit, you know what I'm saying, obviously. But there's a difference between having a bad day or having a few bad days and being downright depressed. Like, bro, mental illness runs in my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, bipolar, depression, anxiety, all that shit runs in both sides of my family. Not just one, both sides. And so does addiction, and so does alcoholism. I've had family members that have died because of heroin and because of pills and other shit like that, bro. Like, I've seen a lot, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like the fact that, like, I've been able to not fall down that road, and I don't drink. I don't even smoke weed anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm completely off everything, bro, and I feel a lot better. But the fact that I've been able to stay off that is almost a miracle because it's like the odds were stacked against me from the jump, basically. Because, like, I've just seen so much shit from when I was a kid I'm not going to say it was a good thing, obviously, because it's not, but it made me just realize that that's not the option. You know what I'm saying? That's not the option, is going down that road. But it's just like, a lot of people don't realize that negative emotions are just a part of life. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're sad. Bro, it's totally normal to be upset over a girl or a guy. You know what I'm saying? It's totally normal if something goes wrong in your life and you're dealing with, family problems or just personal issues or insecurities or anything like that. It's totally normal. But what's not normal is being, suicidal and all these other things. And it's unfortunately a part of life, and a lot of people deal with it. But I feel like a lot of people kind of cling to these ideas, and they're almost influenced by it when they're not really feeling that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not really feeling that way. They're kind of saying it because they're upset in the moment and they're being emotional or whatever. But it's like, what you got to realize is, like, speaking from somebody that, like, has recently had to deal with the loss of somebody who took their own life, like, that shit is very serious. And, like, that's why I don't say that anymore, because it's all fun and games and it's all melodrama until it gets to the point where somebody you know actually takes their own life, and you see the ripple effect that it has on people that didn't even know them like that. You know what I'm saying? The ripple effect of people of somebody that's taking their own lives, that it affects, you know, a friend of a friend of a friend. And, you know, somebody that in the town that works at, like, the fucking supermarket or whatever, that just saw them every day buying groceries or whatever. Like, it affects those people. So, you know what I'm saying? You can't, like, people can't be running around, like, selling this idea and this glamorization that, like, that shit is okay, because I feel like a lot of people have not actually experienced that at all. You know what I'm saying? They've never dealt with the actual loss in their life. You know what I'm saying? They've never dealt with it. I'm saying, you know, there's plenty of people who definitely have. But there's people out there that just haven't, and they don't understand the severity and the weight that those words carry. And, like, I realize the weight that those words carry, and that's why in my new music I don't say that shit no more. And on Twitter I don't say that shit no more. And when I come out here I don't say that shit no more, because it's not that serious. Like, sadness and negative emotions are not that serious for me personally to say that I would want to take my own life. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that I want to get better personally. I'm speaking from my point of view, that I want to get better and I want to be able to enjoy my life and I want to improve my family's lives, and I want to make the people around me, you know, better and things like that. And that's what keeps me going personally. And I understand there's some people out there that deal with a lot worse things than I do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm specifically speaking from my point of view. But I'm just saying, like, I just think that it's really foul how that there are a lot of people that are consciously capitalizing off of things like this, and that's where I have the problem. I don't have a problem with people making sad music, because motherfuckers are sad. People deal with a lot of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's a part of life, and music is an outlet for people to express their emotions. You know what I'm saying? However, there's a lot of people out there that are these industry motherfuckers that are literally capitalizing off of young, impressionable people. And they're selling this, they're just selling lies. They're selling people lies. It's just all fake, bro. This shit is not real. The shit don't be adding up. The Instagram followers and the shows don't be adding up. The fucking Spotify plays and all that shit and the interactions don't be adding up, bro. You could look at my shit. All this shit adds up. You know what I'm saying? You got to be perceptive and aware of these things. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just crazy to me. And I know that there's nothing that I could do about it, because this shit's going to keep happening. It's a part of the music industry at this point. It's been happening for fucking decades. You know what I'm saying? And it goes all the way back to you know, the 80s and then, you know what I'm saying? All that shit. Even further. You know what I'm saying? This is just the reality of the music industry and how the ecosystem of the music industry works. It's like once they find something that they know they can capitalize off of, that's it. You know what I'm saying? They're going to run with it. You know what I'm saying? So, but I know what I want to do is that I want to let y'all know that there are ways there are healthy ways to deal with your sadness that don't include, you know, just being like, I hate my life and just wanting to give up on things. You know what I'm saying? It's just, shit's hard, bro. Life is a roller coaster, my guy. There's ups and downs, and you got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And you can't just falter.